Good afternoon, this is Steve Langsdale of TCBR, Thurrock Community Business Radio, and I'm in here today to interview a couple of people from the Sensory Day that's going to be happening in Thurrock a wee bit later on this month. It's Steve Langsdale here, and I'm talking first to Kendrick Morris. Hello, Kendrick.
Hello, Steve.
Now, explain something about the day that's going on.
Well, I work for the Thurrock Social Services as the sensory rehabilitation worker. We're a small team working with people in the community who are visually impaired and hard of hearing or deaf. And I was approached by the Thurrock Coalition to see whether we could hold a sensory event day on April the 11th from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So, of course, I got roped in to be involved in this. And, Ian, you're one of the guys who came to me.
Yep.
Right. And we now go across to Ian Evans from the Coalition.
Hi there. Yeah, my name's Ian Evans. I'm from Thurrock Coalition, which is a user-led organisation in the borough. And we represent lots of people with physical impairments, sensory impairments, their families and carers, and they told us that they wanted a day like this and what could be done to raise awareness around things like mobility issues, employment, clubs and social events, and if something could be held in the borough. So we got in touch with our partners at the council, and the Sensory Day was a result of a good bit of sort of co-production, if you like.
So let's go back to when it actually started. How long has this actual event taken to set up?
Well, I think the general impetus was it when it's TUPS, wasn't it, and Pavis came to us and said...
Who are TUPS?
TUPS, sorry, are Thurrock Unsighted People's Society, and Pavis are...
They've changed the name to BASIS. They're a group called the Blind and Sight Impaired Society, right. BASIS. And they were involved, I think, a couple of years ago in what's called a sensory confrontation. Yeah. The residents and service users were saying, where are our services to give us training, rehabilitation, signposting? So a lot of issues were coming out from about 2 years ago. And therefore, through your coalition and linking with ourselves, setting up, there's your day, with all the contacts, all the businesses, all the social groups.
So we go back to 2 years ago to actually the forerunner of setting up this event.
Yeah, there was an event in around July 2011.
Right.
I think it was the last week in July, around the 24th.
Yeah.
And we held an event, as Kendrick says, to raise awareness, get people with sensory impairment, be that with visual impairment or hearing impairment, in the room together to discuss what issues they needed resolving and what solutions they were looking for an improvement in sensory services in the borough.
Well, that's given us a bit of background about why the day was actually set up. Now, tell me who's actually going to be here on the day.
Well, I think I'll hand over to Kendrick.
Okay, back to Kendrick.
It's going to be fantastic. We're here in the foyer.
Yeah.
On the day, you'll find the Royal Association for the Deaf. They'll say, good afternoon, or good morning, sorry, welcome to the group. And there'll be people who are deaf communicating with deaf people. Behind you will be the Deafblind UK. So if you come along with your hand out, you say, how are you? They can talk to you. So they'll have people to welcome them to the event. And behind here will be TUPS, part of the sensory group, development group, and they will help hard of hearing and people visually impaired and people who are totally blind. So we're going to involve all the cultures in our community to feel very welcome. Now, what are they going to find? They're going to find in the main hall a lot of technology, because things are changing, things are really advancing. Things about employment advisors will be there. My sensory department will be represented there. So the hall's going to be full of people offering the technology and access to the community. But also here, we'll have in some other rooms the local support groups. Come and join a group, meet people who understand what it really means to live with it day by day, not just the professionals. You'll have a large, another room for people from the wider community nationally, the Rebella Society, I think that's Sense. You'll have all the organisations, RNID, all the different charities.
Right.
The MD Society, I think.
Macular Disease Society. These are nationally based societies. And further, we'll have another room where your health will be checked. You can have your blood pressure checked. You can have your blood sugar checked. You can have your hearing aids checked. You can have your magnifiers checked.
So what you're saying is it's a one-stop shop for the people in this area?
It'll be, for them. And also, we have a nice cafeteria here. Have a cup of coffee, talk to friends, meet new people. There'll be guide dogs and hearing dogs coming along. see how they work. Now, why are they together? Because they should talk as well, not just us. We should all be talking to each other. So it's going to be a very powerful thing.
It's social interaction for everybody with a certain sensory disability.
Yes. If you have friends, family, somebody you know, isn't it nice to understand where they're coming from and not to take over? Not, what do they say, do they take sugar? Not have that mentality, but independence and meet your own peer group.
If this day, as it will do, I know, becomes a success, will you be running further events in the future?
The idea is for the sensory group that was started to create this event,
right,
and to get the sort of kickstart effort behind it, is for that to carry on,
right,
develop its own way of working and own terms of reference, and continue to work together for everyone's benefit. And it's going to be a really, really good opportunity.
Sounds fantastic, Ian. Now, so this is like a building block for what's going to happen in the future.
Exactly. This is a blueprint framework, if you like, to get a good snapshot of what's nationally available, what's locally available, get people's awareness raised, get people's family members, carers all here as well. Get people talking to each other, communicating, and knowing what's out there and available to improve their choice and control and ability to live independently. It's a really great opportunity.
This is, as you say, a fantastic opportunity to actually get people who have a sensory disability involved in their community.
Exactly.
So, thanks very much for talking to me today. Have you anything else to say to me, Kendrick, from the
from my perspective, if you normalise a sensory impairment that people understand, we'll start communicating better in the street. Not this sort of walking past, tiptoe past the blind person, but not make them aware I'm here. Just say hello, it's Kendrick, and walk past. They're not going to jump on you, but they live in a world where they need to know what's about them. And if you're going somewhere, say, look, I'm just leaving now, not have them talking in free space. So all this understanding means that it makes a more relaxed community and down the high street.
And this is what all the day's about. It's to bring the disabled people in this area, which is a word I hate because I'm disabled myself, but the actual people who are impaired, to bring them more into the local community and actually say, we are the same as you, now, let's talk.
And isn't it amazing, if you're a deaf person, deaf culture, and one of your friends is going blind, well, where's your information? How do you know how to cope? They can't see you signing anymore. So deaf blind people can actually move away from the deaf group and have no group.
Right.
When you come here, deaf blind, you're going to find people that start to understand. So, and you're not excluded.
So what you're saying is this is the one-stop shop for everybody to find out what's going on in their community, whether they be sight impaired, deaf, in a wheelchair or whatever. Everybody should come here and see what's happening in their local community.
Know that they're welcome.
Yep.
Right.
And it is a drop-in day, so you don't have to stay for the whole event. You can come for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the first hour, have a coffee, come back, have a break, come back. And it's 1 till 7 on the 11th of April this year.
So you've heard it from both the people that I've just been talking to, Kendrick Morris from the Council and Ian Evans from the Coalition. Come and join us on the 11th and join everybody down here at the college to see what's actually happening with the deaf, blind and visually impaired, also the people in wheelchairs and everybody else who needs the services of the local community and the local people to help them. So this is Steve Langsdale for TCBR, and many, many thanks to Kendrick Morris from the Council and Ian Evans from the Coalition.
Thanks, Steve.
For more information, call 01375 389 864.
Email thurrocksensorygroup@gmail.com.
Visit our website tsil.org.uk.
You can also follow us on Twitter @SensoryThurrock.
Like us on Facebook, Thurrock Sensory Group.
And finally, you can check out our YouTube channel, Sensory Thurrock.